more to me.
Thanks for joining us this evening. On the show tonight, I have a traitor, and he's a traitor to Islam. He's actually from Cairo, Egypt. His name is Mohammed Kamel, and he doesn't go by that name today because his life has changed. But you're on Educate for Life Radio. I'm your host, Kevin Conover. We're on AM 1170, The Answer in San Diego, every Sunday, 4 to 5 p.m. You can stream the show all over the world at am1170theanswer.com. And he has a powerful testimony. If you want to pick up his book, the book is Traitor by Daniel Massieh, not his original name. His original name is Mohammed Kamel. But basically, he had a radical transformation in his life in Egypt. And he's here in America now doing ministry, reaching Muslims. So we're going to get to hear his story this evening. Daniel, thank you for being on the show tonight.
Thank you, Kevin.
Fantastic. You know, Daniel, it's so important. You know, Islam is such a hot issue right now all over the country. We have a 2016 election year. You have people that are very afraid with the refugees that are coming into America or promised to come into America, right? There's talk of 10,000 refugees coming in, and we're here in San Diego, and you have one of the largest influx of refugees, and a lot of people are saying this is a bad idea, and a lot of Christians, well-meaning people, are saying, hey, this isn't something we should be doing. And I wanted to start off by you sharing with us your background, where you came from, to try to dispel some of the fear that people have about reaching out to their Muslim neighbors and people here in America.
Thank you, Kevin. I'm honored to be on your show and on your station. And I am blessed to be in United States to share what God did in my life in Egypt. And we really are spoiled here in United States, you know, because you have a freedom to share your faith and to talk with people. And I didn't know why Christians are afraid of. You know, here you can talk with anyone about Jesus, about anything. Yeah. You know, and nobody will put you in prison like what happened with me in Egypt, you know. But my real name, as you mentioned, was Mohammed Kamel, and I born in a Muslim family, and I never thought to be a Christian. And sadly, Kevin, I have a Christian friend for 12 years. He never shared the gospel with me.
Now, this is in Egypt.
In Egypt. Yeah, wow. Of course, you know.
Now, what is the percentage of Muslims and Christians in Egypt?
I would say Muslims are 85% of the population, and 15% are Christian Coptic, and some of them they are evangelical and Pentecostal, and some Presbyterians, you know, but the total percentage is like 15%.
Now, when you said I grew up here and for 12 years I had a friend who did not tell me about Christ, you're here in Egypt. Now, what time? Give us a time frame here. What?
Well, I would say in 1979, that's when God started, you know, showing me Himself. I was 23 years old at that time.
Okay. Now, when you were young and you're growing up, you're going to elementary school and everything. Correct. Are you learning about Islam there in Egypt in the schools?
Of course. Yeah. Islam is the religion. All aspects of life is followed by Sharia law and Sunnah. Sunnah means the practice of the Prophet Muhammad. Okay. You know, all Muslims, they follow the practice of the Prophet Muhammad. And to be a good Muslim, you need to read the Quran, you need to know the Hadith, the second book after the Quran, and also to practice and to do whatever the Prophet Muhammad did or said or act, you need to copy it.
Okay. Yeah. Now, as you're growing up in this, did you have a big family? Did you come from a big family?
Yes, I have a big family, and my family, in fact, was very, very famous in Egypt. My uncle was the general of the army at that time, of the Egyptian army. I have a brother. He was a judge at that time in the army. And my mother is a lawyer. in Egypt. And my dad was a businessman, very rich businessman. And I was in my university, try to finishing my bachelor degree in business. And I never thought that God will I will encounter God.
Yeah, we never know what God's going to do in our lives. Now, did you, as you're growing up, you said you had a friend who was a Christian. Was he afraid to talk to you about Christ?
Exactly. He afraid because, even this is happening in 1979. We never, heard about a Muslim become a Christian. There is cases, very few cases, but it's not on the news.
No,
it's
yeah.
not in the public. They try to hide it. The Muslim government in all Muslim countries, they didn't want it Muslim to see there are some Muslim converted to Christianity.
Interesting.
And of course, the Christians there, they didn't know, because it's all happening underground, in churches underground. And my friend was a Coptic Orthodox, and he afraid to share anything about Jesus. We have been in college. I go to sleep over in his home. He come to my house. His mom, great lady, she prepare food. He come to my house. Everybody knows him in my house as, my Christian friend.
Yeah.
But he never told me Jesus loves you.
Now, could he have gotten in trouble if he had said that?
I don't think so.
No, okay.
Because, it's among friends.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You see, and...
I mean, you said was it your uncle who was a general?
Right.
Well, if I was your friend, I'd be a little nervous.
Right. Exactly. But you see, I will not, I'm not going saying, my uncle is a general.
Yeah.
And all of this. But as friends, a Christian has the opportunity to just, with little words, they can introduce Christ to Muslims.
Yeah.
But like you started the program and say, a lot of Muslims, a lot of Christians are afraid.
Yeah.
Because what's happening, in the Middle East and ISIS and all of that, still in back then, there was the Muslim Brotherhood, and the fanatic Muslim Brotherhood.
Yeah.
They always threaten Christian if they found out they try to reach other Muslim.
Yeah, and now I've heard that when a Muslim converts, right, from my own studies, their own life is maybe not in immediate physical danger, but still business-wise or relationship-wise, there's going to be potential trouble. Persecution, yeah.
A great persecution.
Yeah.
Even if they never share the gospel, still, Christian population in any Muslim countries are persecuted. For example, if two doctors try to apply in a hospital, they will take the Muslim doctor instead of the Christian doctor.
Yeah.
If two students, one of them need to be selected, they always select the Muslim background.
Yeah.
Muslim always have the upper hand in Middle East.
Yeah.
And Christian consider the low-class citizen in Middle East. Some countries, they will not show it like in Egypt, but when it comes to action, when it comes to selection, they will select the Muslim and rejected the Christian.
Yeah. Now we're about to come up on a break here, but how does Egypt compare to a country like Iran or Saudi Arabia or whatever, as far as religious freedom or Turkey is concerned? Is there a difference there? When we come back, my guest tonight has converted from Islam to Christianity a long time ago. Muhammad Kamel now goes by Daniel Massieh, started the first Arabic church here in San Diego. And we're just hearing his story, and he's going to talk to us. He travels all over the country and all over the world talking to people about how to love their Muslim neighbors and ultimately how to share Christ with their Muslim neighbors. Stay with us. We're going to be right back.
What do leading local restaurants have in common? They depend on Express Fix Coffee for new and used coffee and espresso machines, repairs, and affordable monthly service. Dave Martin and his local team provide water filtration services too. Call San Diego's best espresso repair company, serving your home and business. Learn more online at expressfixcoffee.com. Call Express Fix Coffee at 619-867-3853. 619-867-3853.
Hi, this is Jason Hall, president of Team Home Loans, a branch of Synergy One Lending. I just want to take this opportunity to thank Kevin Conover for the profound impact he's had on mine and my wife's spiritual life, as well as being an incredible teacher while our kids were his students. His knowledge and passion have taught us all how important it is to be defenders of our faith. It's our honor and privilege to support Kevin and his show. It is our sincere hope and prayer that you will continue to learn to be defenders of your faith through Kevin's radio show and through his Educate for Life teachings. Thank you, Kevin, from the Hall family and Team Home Loans.
Add historic American beauty to your home today with genuine Amish furniture. It's built in the USA from solid cherry wood with a bourbon finish. Or choose alternative woods and finishes to accent your home's decor. You'll find it all at Tucker's Valley Furniture. For over 65 years, the Tucker family has served San Diego County. Still family owned. Cash and Carry and Tucker's Valley Furniture. 2 stores, both right across the street at Main and Mollison in El Cajon. Learn more at tuckersvalleyfurniture.com.
I will cast my cares on you. You're the anchor of my hope, the only one who's in control. I will.
Thanks for listening today. This is Educate for Life. I'm your host, Kevin Conover. We're on AM 1170, The Answer in San Diego. You can also stream the show at am1170theanswer.com. My website is educateforlife.org. You can go there. You can pick up a recording of this show, or you can get more information on Islam. If you want to reach or get in touch with Daniel Massieh, he has a website, openthegates.org, and he's a missionary, essentially, reaching Muslims here in San Diego and around the world. And he has a book called Traitor, which tells his story about how he came to Christ through really a supernatural experience. Is that right?
Praise the Lord, yeah.
Yeah. Pastor Daniel, what happened next here? You're going to the university. You're 23 years old. What was the catalyst that ultimately led you to Christ?
You know, to finish your question from the other segment, you know, most of Middle Eastern countries, they respect Egypt, and Egypt considered the Hollywood of the Middle East.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that the pyramids or what?
Yeah. Everybody love Egyptian.
Okay.
And they consider us the most funniest people in the whole Middle East, which it gave me, advantage, a great opportunity.
So you're like a Californian almost in America, right?
Exactly.
Okay. I got it.
Like America to the rest of the world. You know,
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
okay.
You can ask anyone, who is funniest people in Middle East. They will tell you Egyptian. They watch our movies. They singing our song. Egypt is very, very educated country, and the civilization there is almost thousands of years.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, all the stories in the Bible are all tied there. So
and what I know about Christianity was from Hollywood, the American Hollywood.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
What movie? Give me some movies that you watch.
The
10 Commandments or something like that?
No. What I used to watch is Clint Eastwood.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
He's the perfect example of Christianity.
Exactly. And that's what was my understanding about Christianity. Watching this guy, this guy is drunk, he's killing people, and all Muslim in Middle East thinking that is Christianity.
Oh my gosh.
It's exactly
that is really funny.
It's exactly like you guys here in America.
Yeah.
When I say the word Islam, you thinking about bombing and suicide bomber, and that's why we're afraid.
So are Muslims all like afraid, like to talk to a Christian because they're going to pull out a gun and
not pull out a gun, but they didn't trust their ethics, their
their morality.
life.
Yeah, their morality.
The morality.
Yeah.
Exactly. They think, oh, you know what? Even if they touch the Bible, they will be unclean.
Wow.
And that's sad,
Yeah.
Even my friend in Egypt, he was not that good example of Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very hard for someone like me to accept Christ just looking to my friend or looking at the movie, And
Yeah.
I wanted to add something, for example, like when they watch Michael Jackson having a cross and all of those actors, they really damage Christianity.
Wow.
And most of the Muslims, I would say 90% of the Muslims, because they didn't have access to the Bible, they only watch Christian or the people saying we are Christian.
Gosh,
Now-
no wonder they're so against
Exactly.
Christianity.
They wanted to kill us.
Going to pollute the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. They think they doing favor for Allah if they kill Christian and Jew because they look to us as infidels.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And immoral people too, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And one day I got a very funny thought. I said, hey, let me go to church to make fun of those Christians and watch, how they drink liquor, women will be in bikinis and all of drugs.
They're in Egypt?
That's in Egypt. I was thinking if I go to a church like this, I will see all of those acts happening.
Oh my gosh. That's
And
really funny.
this is how God really used, Hollywood
Yeah.
to bring me to a church, And I told my friend, could you please take me to your church? And my friend, afraid even to take me to his church, he thought I would put a bomb in his church. He decided to take me to a different church. You see how
And you guys
Christian-
didn't talk about this?
No. And you see how Christian love each other, Don't bomb my church, bomb the other church.
Oh, that's great.
No, we talk about that later after I became a Christian. And I told him, in fact, shame on you. You was afraid to take me to your church.
Now, are you guys still in touch? Do you still stay in touch?
He is now also involved in ministry. And he and the whole family in Egypt came to know the Lord.
Wow.
They are born again Christian now.
You guys should go on a world tour together.
Amen. Yeah. And I went to the church with him, and I was sitting in the back, and I was waiting when his liquor would be served, the dancing, all of this, and nothing happened. And at the end of the meeting, the pastor asked one of the people to lead them in prayer. And I didn't know how Christians pray. I kicked my friend. I told them, how you guys pray? He said, just close your eyes and listen to the prayer. I thought he wanted me to close my eyes, then they can do the bad thing, in the meeting. And I pretended I'm closing, but I was watching everything in the meeting and nothing happened. I was very disappointed because I came all of the way to see this stuff and nothing happened. I said to myself, you know what? Maybe my friend told them I'm here. They will not do it today.
Well, you guys don't trust each other at all.
Yeah. And in Egypt, in fact, that's a very important point you're saying.
Yeah.
Middle Eastern people, they don't trust each other.
Yeah.
Even countries.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are friends. You said he was friends for 12 years.
But we
you
don't trust each other. Yeah. And I thought he told them, I'm here. They will not do it today. I need to come several times. They will be open. I can watch this. I can mock them. I can tell my other Muslim in the mosque. And I was having a big plan to attack the church, and to prove the point is those people are infidels.
Yeah.
See what they're doing inside the church.
So you were a pretty dedicated Muslim.
Correct.
So were you praying 5 times a day?
I was praying 5 times a day. I go to the mosque with my dad, my brother. I start memorizing the Quran since I was 7.
Oh.
And I was praying, in fact, to more than 5 prayer. Any Muslim dedicated, he will pray more than 5 a day.
Okay.
Sometimes I will pray 20 times.
Wow.
Yeah. And in Islam system of prayers, you can pray more and save some of those prayer for later.
For later, right? You store them up, and then the next week you get off.
Exactly. If you can't,
it's kind of like adding up sick days at work.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and if you love some people, they died, and you wanted them to go to heaven or to have good works, you need to pray for them. Many times, and that's what I was really into Islam. I believe in prayer. I pray many times a day. And
now, did you get to a point where you felt that it was your duty to kind of get rid of Christianity in a way, or put it down, or was that in your mind, or was this just something?
It was, I remember I was 23 years at that time.
Yeah.
What I was just, something came to my mind. I wanted to examine those infidels people.
Yeah, something to do.
Yeah, and in our way to his home after the church, I told him, "Could you please give me your prayer? I am interested in knowing how you guys pray." And he wrote the Lord's Prayer in a piece of paper. I took it to his home, and in fact, I went to his room. I closed the door. I said, "Let me memorize this. If anyone asked me to pray, I will repeat this like in Islam. This way they will trust me, they will open for me, and I can find out what really those infidels are doing, And I took the Lord's Prayer, and I sat on his bed, and I closed the door, and I started reading the first line, "Our Father in heaven."
Wow, this is an amazing story. They should make this into a movie. It would be fantastic. Anybody listening out there who's involved in Hollywood, pick up Daniel Massieh's book, Traitor. Get in touch with him. His website is openthegates.org. He's got an incredible story. Stay with us. He's going to finish it with us and then tell us how to reach out to our Muslim neighbors. We'll be right back.
Before I bring my need, I will bring my heart.
Not all home inspections are created equal. Joe DeMars and his team at Housemaster have performed inspections in San Diego for 22 years plus and performed over 10,000 inspections for commercial, multiple family, apartments, and residential. Call before you buy or sell. You'll have confidence knowing the true condition of the property. Call 619-660-7866, sandiego.housemaster.com. Home inspections, done right, guaranteed. 619-660-7866.
How can you live in San Diego and miss out on enjoying the water? Fast Lane Kayaking sells popular Hobie Cat kayaks that you pedal, not paddle. That means your hands are left free for fishing and fun. Just throw these on your roof rack. They're light and they're easy to use and maintain. Just rinse them off. Try one free on a demo ride. For 36 years, Ron and Debbie Lane have served San Diego with fun, family-friendly water sports of all kinds. Learn more. FastLaneSailing.com. 619-222-0766.
I'm giving it all away. No more hiding, no more stalling. I hear you calling me, and I'm coming. See me running. I give in. You win.
Thanks for tuning in to Educate for Life. I'm your host, Kevin Conover. We're on AM 1170, The Answer in San Diego every Sunday, 4 to 5 p.m. and all over the world at am1170theanswer.com. I also have a YouTube channel, Educate for Life Video. Check it out. It's got all kinds of shows. My guest tonight, Daniel Massieh, comes from Egypt, and he converted out of Islam. I've got shows on there with Tatch also, who converted out of Islam. She's in another country in the Middle East. And both of them are now using their life experience, what they've been through, to reach Muslims for Christ. And it's amazing what they're doing. So, Daniel, you left off here. You're trying to catch your friend and find out what's really going on in the church. Women wearing bikinis and getting drunk and all this stuff. You're thinking. Right. So what happens next?
I start reading the first line in the Lord's Prayer, which is "Our Father in heaven." And I start laughing. I said, those people are really crazy because they calling God daddy.
Yeah.
Father. Father mean daddy. I can call him in Arabic, Baba, like Abba, father.
Yeah.
And I started laughing and laughing. I said, in Islam, no Muslim can dare to call Allah or God father.
That'd be very dishonorable.
Yeah. This was blasphemy. huge blasphemy for me. And I said, Lord, why you didn't destroy those people? They are calling you Father. I can call you Baba. And I opened the window and I started mocking and making joke. And remember, Egyptians are funny.
Yeah.
And I started joking with God. I said, you are my daddy? You married to my mom? When does that happen? Because if I have a father, I have a mom.
Yeah.
And I was mocking very bad the Lord's Prayer. And suddenly, Kevin, boom, in my room, it filled with the Holy Spirit. And I felt God.
Wow.
I felt God in my room, and I felt his arm, even his face next to my face. And his voice was like you hearing me and I hearing you telling me, yes, I am your daddy.
Whoa.
I am your father.
That's amazing.
And this is exactly.
That gives me chills. That's crazy.
It break my heart.
Yeah.
And I start crying like a baby. The whole thing changed. I start telling him, why you left me 23 years? Why you left me 23 years? Because the impact, his voice, his love, his hug was, more than real for me. I felt it. It's someone in my room hugging me, kissing me and telling me I am your daddy.
That's incredible. Now,
and I went to sleep after I cried for a couple of minutes, and I wake up. Second day, I started reading the Bible. I told my friend to give me your Bible. Of course, he was there in the family room, hearing me talking and crying. He told me later he was in shock, because they read the Lord's Prayer in their church many times, and nobody's crying.
Yeah.
But here is a Muslim guy reading the Lord's Prayer, and he started crying, Anyway, to make the story short, I took the Bible, I started to read in the Bible, and I found a big difference between Christ and Muhammad. Here is Jesus is walking the street of Jerusalem, and touching people.
Personal.
Feeding people. And healing and raising the dead. Muhammad, the prophet of Islam, he never did any miracle.
Yeah.
And all Muslims will agree, he claimed his miracle is the Quran. But anybody can come and claim his book is a miracle. But we need a second witness.
Yeah.
Moses has a second witness. He opens the sea. God used him in many miracles. Jesus the same. If really Muhammad is from God, he should proclaim and perform miracles.
Yeah, that's all throughout the text. We see it, that the sign of a prophet is a miracle is done.
Exactly.
It confirms the presence of God. What does a Muslim say if you bring this up? Do you
they would say it's the Quran, and even Muhammad himself in the Quran said, I am just a man, and I'm here to give warning to people. But, Jesus, when he came, he was in a form of man, but we know he was God. The word became flesh.
Yeah. Now, would you say, Pastor Daniel, that a lot of Muslims are just completely unaware of what the Bible teaches? And,
exactly.
And it's not that they're outright rejecting Christ; it's that they don't know the Christ of the Bible. Is that the case?
Exactly. That's exactly the case, Kevin. And thank you for, make it this symbol.
Yeah.
I believe Muslims deceived in the whole world, and in my book, in my last chapter or two, I listed how Muhammad deceived 1.5 billion Muslims.
Yeah.
They are deceived. I was deceived.
Yeah.
He never explained the truth about Jesus, about the true God in the Quran.
Yeah.
It's all deception.
Do you think that if more Muslims were to hear more plainly what the scriptures teach, that they would be drawn to the scriptures?
Exactly. But the problem is Christians afraid to share with them.
Yeah.
And I am teaching very simple three keys to reach out to Muslim.
Okay.
You know, first key, when you see any Muslim, talk about food.
Okay.
Yeah, don't hit them with the Bible. You know, talk about food. Second key.
I had somebody else on the show who was talking about this, and she actually said it's okay to invite yourself over for dinner.
That's my second key.
Is that true?
That's my second key.
Okay.
What you need to do is you can invite yourself.
That's so I feel so uncomfortable.
Yeah, because you are an American.
Yeah.
But in our culture, it's okay to invite yourself to my house.
Okay.
And
can I come over tonight?
Sure. You are very welcome. That's most of the people after I preach in any church.
Yeah.
They come to me and say,
they ask
can I
that.
come?
Yeah.
I say, you are welcome. You know, the key here is Jesus' way of reaching out was inviting himself to the people home.
That's true. Zacchaeus, right?
Zacchaeus,
Yeah.
exactly. He told them, come down. I must eat in your home. You see? And if
so
we
funny.
really wanted to reach out to Muslim, follow the way of Jesus.
I'm going to start teaching that it's the Christian thing to do to invite yourself over
Right.
to dinner.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you test good food.
Yeah, that's
you know?
right.
And will be your mission.
Lower my grocery bill there.
Yeah.
That's great.
And the third key is I prepared 50 question interview. And you can tell the Muslim, you know, when you go to his home, hey, by the way, I am studying about Islam and I would like to interview you. Most of the Muslim love interview.
Wow.
And you can get those 50 questions if you email me or send your request to open the gates. They will send it to you.
Okay.
It's very fun, 50 questions, but it come deeper and deeper. And you can make the interview in 4, 5, 6 sessions. And of course, you will eat more.
That's great. I love it. Now, do you want to say your email on the air?
You can email me at daniel@openthegates.org.
Okay, Daniel@openthegates.org. Now, are those 50 questions in your book, Traitor?
No,
No,
they
they're not.
are
Okay.
sent directly to those who are interested in reaching out to Muslims.
Okay, when we come back, my guest tonight is Daniel. He has left Islam to follow Christ. He's from Egypt, Cairo, Egypt, and he's going to talk about what happened to him after he accepted Christ and some of what he's been through since then. We'll be right back.
When you need tires or service, count on Conover Tires, Wheels, and Service in Oceanside for a full range of affordable options and all the brands you trust. See their great customer reviews and special offers online. Hours Tuesday through Friday, 7:30 to 5:30, and Saturdays, 7:30 to 5. Call Dan and his team at 760-439-1631. Conover Tires, Wheels, and Service, 2405 Oceanside Boulevard in Oceanside, 760-439-1631.
Do you have one-button espresso machines in your home or business? They make delicious coffee drinks, but they're not maintenance-free. Express Fix Coffee is San Diego's source for coffee and espresso machine repair, sales, and service. Call Dave Martin at Express Fix Coffee for new and used espresso machines, repairs, parts, and accessories. They'll save you time and money. Call Express Fix Coffee at 619-867-3853. Learn more at expressfixcoffee.com.
There's got to be more than going back and forth from doing right to doing wrong, because we were taught that's who we are. Come on.
Welcome back to Educate for Life. I'm your host, Kevin Conover. We're on AM 1170 The Answer in San Diego, and you can stream it all over the world at am1170theanswer.com. My guest wrote a book called Traitor, Daniel Massieh. He has been a traitor to Islam. That's what the whole story is about. And if you didn't get to listen to the previous segments, he had a spiritual experience, an amazing experience with God essentially in the room with him, heard his voice audibly, felt his presence, his cheek to cheek, pretty amazing. And so, Pastor Daniel, what happened to you after this? You have this life change. How did your family react to what your decision?
Yeah, after this first encounter with God in my room, and I discovered he's my daddy, I started going to church. Now, not to watch Christians, but to know more about my father.
Yeah.
And everything I hear inside the church, I understand it. It makes sense. God is love, and he came in the flesh to die for my sin, and he wanted to save me, and it was making sense.
Yeah,
If there is God, he should love me.
Yeah.
Because I am his creation. He created us, And one of the church leader invited me to a conference in Alexandria. And I went with them to the conference. It was a great, powerful conference. And the preacher there was preaching, Jesus can change your heart. Jesus can change your life. It touched me. Because many times in Islam, when I was a Muslim, praying, asking Allah to change my life, but nothing happened. Here, I started hearing the message, and it touched me. It was real that, I need to ask for change. I took a side, nobody see me even. I went to a corner of the conference, and I knelt, and I prayed. I said, Lord, if this guy really telling the truth, and you can change people, I am ready. And I repeat this prayer 2-3 times, and boom, another encounter. The Holy Spirit came like a shower this time, and I felt God inside my heart, and I started speaking in tongues. Wow. And I am in Presbyterian church, not Pentecostal church, not Calvary Chapel church, and boom, 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 praising the Lord. Everybody knows this is Muhammad, and I didn't even read the Apostle Paul about the gift of the Holy Spirit.
You didn't even know about that yet.
Absolutely not.
Wow.
And boom, I found like a river came to my heart and filled me, and I started praising God with another tongue. I decided after this one, from inside, really, I filled with the Spirit. I said, you know what? I will not be like my friend. I will not be like Christian in
You're like, this guy held out on me for too long. There's no way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I need to share the gospel with my family, my friends, everyone.
Yeah.
I went back home. I was excited. I told my family, I became a Christian. Jesus changed my heart. And I didn't know this was the beginning of a great persecution. And everybody jumped on me. They started beating me, hitting
Your family?
me. Yeah, my family, my mom, my dad.
Started
my
punching
brother.
you?
Oh, yeah, in the face. And my brother with his feet started kicking me, and they put me down, and my mom wanted to kill me.
Were you aware that this was going to happen, or were you just so excited that
I was excited. I said, this is something they will be excited, that their son became, a new person.
And your mother wanted to kill you.
Yeah, she put her nail in my neck, and everybody wanted to kill me. Somehow, by God's grace, I was able to escape, and I ran to my church, and one of my friends there hid me in his home, and but in my heart, I need to share the gospel with the Muslim, even with everything happened in my house.
That's incredible. Now, what about your family today? Are they?
My dad and my mom accepted Christ. They became Christian.
Praise God. That's incredible.
They wanted to meet the Lord. They died a couple of years ago. But my daddy, my father, have a dream, and Jesus appeared to him in the dream and told him, hey, don't persecute Daniel. Daniel in the right path, and your new name will be Micah. And he woke up from the dream. He was afraid, and he knows this was Jesus, Isa in Arabic.
Wow.
The
now,
name of Jesus.
Is this kind of stuff happening
all over in the Middle East? And I believe God deal with Muslim. Statistics show 42% of all Muslim convert coming to know the Lord through vision, dream, or they heard God's voice, like you hear me.
Yeah. I read about this on the web frequently. Yeah. And I'm like, this is incredible. I'm like, I want to go. I want to see this. It's just unbelievable. It's so exciting.
Yeah, and I start to pray, Lord, use my life, and I make my commitment to share the gospel with 10 Muslims every day. I will not sleep, and I will count them. you know?
Yeah.
And I will go to a bus full of people. I will go inside and I will shout, hey guys, have you heard about Jesus? And the whole bus, of course, looking to me. I start preach, moving from bus to bus, carrying like 400 or 500 small Bibles, the New Testament, giving to people while they are sitting in the bus. When I take a taxi, same thing. I will share with the taxi driver, with the people in the taxi driver, and I will count how many people I share today. If I found there are 8, I'm missing 2, I will go even in the middle of the night, I stop a taxi, and I will take this taxi couple of blocks, and guess who is number 9? The taxi driver. And I will ask him to drop me, and then I will take another taxi, different guy, back home. That's number 10.
That's a captive audience.
Exactly. In fact, I have a funny story about this. I will go to the high-rising building, and I will go inside the elevator. And when the elevator door closes, I have a captive audience. I will share the gospel with them.
That's great.
And
these are good strategies. You got to write a book on evangelism.
Yeah, this is from the Holy Spirit. You know? And after a year and a half doing evangelism in the street and buses everywhere, one day I was in a taxi and I shared the gospel with a taxi driver. And the taxi driver told me, why are you sharing the gospel with me? I'm a Muslim. Did you ever know any Muslim become a Christian? I said, yes, I know. He said, no, you're lying. If you show me one, I will go to church with you. I said, okay, me. He said, no, you are a Christian. I said, no, here is my ID. I show him my ID in Egypt, and it has my name, Muhammad Kamel, because I wanted him to believe, there is Muslim are converting, coming to know the Lord. And it's required by the law in any Egyptian ID to mark one of 2 boxes, a Muslim or a Christian.
Wow.
And he saw the box Muslim, checked. I told him, you will come to church like you promised. He said, of course, give me the address. And instead of him coming to the church, he reported me to the secret police. And the secret police came to the church building, and they asked for me, and I came out. They told me, we need you for half an hour. And the half an hour became 8 months in solitary confinement. And I was excited. I know many people, when they hear about persecution, they're afraid. But I wanted to encourage everyone listening to us today. It is fun.
Wow.
To
solitary confinement.
Yeah, to see God's hand with you.
That's amazing.
I witnessed to the secret police officer, and and they took me to the attorney general after that. And, I can share more about that.
Yeah, you know what? My guest is Daniel Massieh, and he's got an incredible testimony. Stay with us. We're going to be right back. He's going to tell us why he's so excited to be going to solitary confinement. We'll talk more.
Hi, this is Jason Hall, president of Team Home Loans, a branch of Synergy One Lending. I just want to take this opportunity to thank Kevin Conover for the profound impact he's had on mine and my wife's spiritual life, as well as being an incredible teacher while our kids were his students. His knowledge and passion have taught us all how important it is to be defenders of our faith. It's our honor and privilege to support Kevin and his show. It is our sincere hope and prayer that you will continue to learn to be defenders of your faith through Kevin's radio show and through his Educate for Life teachings. Thank you, Kevin, from the Hall family and Team Home Loans.
In 1947, Gordon Tucker began serving San Diego County families. Today, the family tradition continues with 2 stores, Tucker's Valley Furniture and Cash and Carry, both right across the street in El Cajon at Main and Mollison. Whether you want today's modern, eco-friendly furniture or authentic Amish furniture from solid cherry wood built in America, let the Tucker family serve your family. Learn more at tuckersvalleyfurniture.com, a proud sponsor of Educate for Life with Kevin Conover.
I will cast my cares on you. You're the anchor of my hope, the only one who's in control.
Welcome back to Educate for Life. I'm your host, Kevin Conover. We're on AM 1170 The Answer in San Diego. My website's educateforlife.org. My guest tonight is Daniel Massieh. He's the author of the book Traitor. You can buy it on Amazon. It's his entire story, which is phenomenal if you've listened to any of the show. His website is openthegates.org. If you shoot him an email, he'll give you the 50 questions to ask a Muslim to develop a relationship and ultimately to help them think and share the gospel. So, Pastor Daniel, you were talking about how you ended up in solitary confinement. What happens next, and how that was actually a good thing almost here?
Yeah, like I mentioned, I was excited because, now I became like a Paul. I will be standing in front of authorities and share the gospel. And I was praying, Lord, use my life. And they transferred me after they arrested me to the Attorney General. And at his office, I was praying, Lord, you didn't bring me to this guy for interrogation. You need to give me something, Lord, for this guy, because this guy needs Jesus, And the Lord gave me 3 questions. And those 3 questions, in fact, I have them in the interview, And I told him, Mr. Hisham, I will ask you 3 questions. If you answer them, I will deny Jesus. I will renounce my faith, go back to Islam, and I will bring a lot of Christian to Islam. But if you didn't answer them, you need to read the Bible and take Christianity seriously. And the guy said, okay, go ahead. And now I'm interrogating him. That's the funny part.
That's great.
Yeah. I told him the first question, does Allah loves you in Islam? Can you say Allah loves me? He said, I don't know. Because in Islam, in the Quran, Allah love only certain people. The people who are praying hard, they are not as sinners, but Allah never loves sinner in the Quran. Mm-hmm. And everyone knows he's a sinner.
Yeah.
And their answer is, I don't know. I told them, if you died today, where are you going? He said, I don't know. Kevin, in the Quran, in chapter 1791, verse 91, the Quran stated all Muslims will go to hell.
Wow.
But most of the Muslims, they never read the Quran.
Wait, say that one more time. Where in the Quran is that?
It's chapter 17, verse 91.
Chapter 17, verse 91. I'm going to write that down. Okay.
Yeah. And if any Muslim reads the Quran carefully, there is no eternity for any Muslim, no security
at all.
At all. And
no matter how good you are,
even
if you're praying 20 times a day,
the only way to go to heaven, if you committed jihad in the sake of Islam and Allah, you will granted heaven. But this is the only condition. And of course, not all Muslims believe in jihad.
And the majority of them would probably deny that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was the second question. I told him, where are you going if you died?
Yeah.
He said, I don't know. Does Allah loves you? He said, I don't know. Told him the third question, is Allah able in Islam to change people? He said, no. Allah will never change anybody. And the verse in the Quran saying, لا يغير الله قوما. Allah will never change anybody. And I told him, Mr. Hisham, did you notice your answer? Allah does not love you. You didn't know that? Allah will not take you to heaven. And Allah is not able to change you. Why are you following Allah?
Yeah.
And he doesn't have any answer. His eyes was big. I have 4 soldiers around me with guns and all of them listening. Then he turned the table and he told me, is God loves you in Christianity? I said, yes, God loves me. He came from heaven to earth. He died on the cross for my sin. He said, where are you going if you died today? I said, I'm going to heaven. And I can prove it to you here in your office. He said, how? I said, I know who you are. You are the Attorney General of all Egypt. And I'm not scared of you. I know what you are capable to do. With your signature, I will be behind the sun. An Egyptian expression mean I will disappear.
Yeah.
But even if you do that, I know where I'm going. That's why, I'm not afraid of you. I know I'm going to heaven. And he asked me the third question, is God able to change people in Christianity? I said, of course. That's why I am in your office, because Jesus changed my life. You didn't arrest me for any crime. My only crime is I became a new person in Christ. And of course, he get upset. He can't find anything to arrest me, to put me in prison for. He asked me two sensitive questions. He told me, what do you think about the Quran? Is the Quran from God? I told him, don't be sensitive. Don't take it personally. The Quran does not worth 3 pennies. And the guy who writes the report in his office, he told him, sir, do you want me to write this in the report? Because he will write that with his own hand. The Quran does not worth 3 pennies. He said, yeah, write this. And the guy started shouting, oh, Allah, forgive me. Oh, Allah, forgive me. And then he asked me the second question, what do you think about the Prophet Muhammad? I told him, don't be sensitive. Don't take it personally. Muhammad can be anything, but not a prophet from God. And the guy again asked him, sir, do you want me to write this in the report? He said, yeah, write this. The guy started shouting more and more and more. Oh, Allah, forgive me. Oh, Allah, forgive me. And by answering those two questions, he signed my paper to put me 8 months in solitary confinement.
Wow.
And I was excited again because now I will have a captive audience, all the prisoners. But the authority knows that I am speaking to all people.
And you're not afraid.
Yeah, they lock me in my cell. No bed, no cover, no shower. I am not allowed to change my clothes, brush my teeth, and 1 meal a day, and no bathroom. My bathroom was a coffee can with sharp edges. I used to take my shoes to cover the edges to use it as a restroom.
Wow.
And you can imagine you smelling all of this.
Oh, yeah. For
I'm,
8 months.
I'm allowed to take my coffee can once a day to clean it in the restroom, bring it back, and the meal is lentils, and it's very dirty, and bugs all over. Don't compare that to your prison here.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I went to share the gospel in the prison with one chaplain, and the minute they opened the prison, I said, wow, this is a hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Compared to the Egyptian prison. Here, they give them bed, cover, hot water, cold water, beds, TV,
cable,
and coax cable. I didn't have a coax cable in my house here.
No, this is like a resort. Yeah, it's like retirement or something, right?
Yeah, our government giving the criminal the message, if you can't afford it, go commit a crime and we will host you in our hotel.
$40,000 a year.
Yeah. But after that, and as all prisoners start coming to my door, cell window, and start asking me, what is your crime? Because they're suspicious, I said, a Muslim became a Christian. They start saying, wow, you're crazy. And I start sharing the gospel with everyone. All the prisoners hear the message. And my nickname was Bishop Muhammad inside the prison.
That's amazing.
And after that, they can't hold me too much. They released me because of my brother and my uncle. And I got released, and I moved as a missionary to Spain, and from Spain to United States. And at the end, I know we have a few seconds left.
Yeah.
I wanted to encourage all Christians listening to us today, don't be afraid. God brought all of those people to our own backyard.
Yeah.
Because he loves the Muslim, and we must use the opportunity because the mission field is in our own backyard.
Absolutely.
And today is the day of good news.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And we remain silent. If we remain silent, punishment will take over us.
That's right.
And don't be afraid, because your prison here in America is a hotel.
That's right. OpenTheGates.org. My guest was Pastor Daniel Massieh. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you, Kevin.
And stay with us. We'll be back next week, 4 to 5 p.m. Get his book, Traitor, OpenTheGates.org. We'll be back next week. Thanks a lot.